Boa tarde. Buenos tardes. Good afternoon. Hi, everybody. Well, I'm not walking this week, but I still wanted to give practice to my friends who are learning English all around the world. And so this week I thought I would give you some English listening practice along with a tip on pronunciation for some words that a lot of people seem to have a lot of difficulty with. Esta semana eu não estou caminhando, mas eu queria dar prática para meus amigos que estão aprendendo inglês. Esta semana não estou caminhando, pero queria dar prática para mis amigos en todo el mundo que están aprendiendo inglés. Y hoy voy a hablar en inglés sobre pronunciación de unas palabras que son difíciles para personas que están aprendiendo. Esta semana eu quero falar sobre verbos que são difíceis para pessoas que estão aprendendo inglês. So today, in addition to having you listen to English and get some practice that way, I wanted to help with pronunciation of regular verbs in the past tense. And all regular verbs in the past tense end in the letters ed. This is the simple past, not the imperfect, the simple past. And so if a word is a verb in the past tense, it ends in the letters ed. Now there are other words in English that end in ed, and these rules don't apply to them. So only regular verbs in the past tense. And the way the verb is usually formed is you take the infinitive of the word. So for example, to want, quer in Portuguese, or querer in Spanish, to want, and then you simply add the letters ed to the end. And that's a regular verb conjugation in the simple past tense. I've included a chart that you probably want to look at while we're talking here. And I got this chart from a website provided by Woodward English, and it seems like a very helpful chart. So look at the chart, and you'll notice that there are 3 columns for the different ways of pronouncing these regular verbs. The first column has the sound id at the end. The second column has the sound t at the end. And the third column has the sound d at the end. You'll notice that in the middle column, t, you make the t sound with your mouth, your teeth, your tongue, but you don't use your vocal cords. So when you say the sound t, you can feel in your neck that it's not moving, it's not vibrating, because that's not where you make that sound. On the other hand, in the third column with the letter D and the sound d, if you put your hand on your throat, you can feel d. That sound comes from your throat, and then of course your tongue helps get it out of your mouth. What's important on this list is the letter that's the last letter of the infinitive. So for example, in the word want, it would be T, or in the word need, it would be D. And so that's the last letter before ed. So this chart is based on what letter is in the word that is immediately before the letters ed. You can see in the first column there's only 2 letters, D and T, or T and D, in the order that they're on the chart. So that's simple, but those are the only times that you pronounce the ed as id, wanted, needed. Now, a lot of people who are learning English try to pronounce the ed in that way for all letters, but that's wrong. So if you look at the second column, you can't say helped or looked. Those words are helped and looked. but you'll see that they don't have a T or a D immediately before the ED, and so they fall into this particular column. I don't think it's necessary to memorize the second and third columns because it's very difficult to put a T on a word that needs a D and a D on a word that needs a T. But even if you did that, it's much less of a mistake, very much less noticeable than if you pronounce helped as helped or called as called. And I think as you practice over time, it will become natural when to say T and when to say D. So let's read together the words in each column. So the examples in the id column, the letters T and D, are wanted and needed. The second column, T at the end, helped, looked, sniffed, laughed, washed, watched, kissed, danced, and fixed. And then finally in the third column, D, called, cleaned, offered, damaged, loved, used, amazed, rubbed, and claimed. So I hope this has been a useful tip. If you have any questions, dudas or duvidas, simply write back and let me know, and I'll try to clarify it. If you don't want to get these recordings anymore, just reply back and I'll take you off the list. And if you have any requests for other things for me to cover in future podcasts or videos, please let me know and I'll do my best. Today's Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and hope to talk with most of you soon. Bye-bye.